this session. We thank you for the opportunity you've granted us to be here. And we pray that what we are going to learn today will make us prosper in our programs and teaching we do and the research with our fellow staff and even the students. We pray for the gadgets, the internet, and the safety of the environment where we are stationed until the end of the session. We put into your hands, colleagues who are still not yet in. You lead them through to join us so that they don't miss anything within this session we are going to have today. We've prayed believing in your Son Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. So according to the program, let me share my screen. Okay, according to the program, today we are supposed to have members from the Faculty of Engineering and Survey. I'm very sure that this faculty has the biggest number of lecturers, both full-time and part-time. So today we are going to look at how to access the online library or the e-resources. And then we shall also look at the in-text citation and referencing. And then lastly, plagiarism. So I was supposed to start at 9, but I'm sorry I had the early engagements, which hindered me to start this on time. But I'm going to ensure that we don't spend a lot of time on each module because there are 3 modules. And then within the modules, we shall have at least a break of 5 minutes and then we resume. So to start with, we are going to look at how we can be able to access the university ebooks and eGen databases through our university website. And the moment you go to the ndejeuniversity.ac.ug, on our homepage, we have the library on the menu, the main menu. The library link is there, and straight away you click on e-resources. So the moment you click on e-resources, it will take you to a page of this nature where we have a number of databases. But to make your work easier as a user, okay, it has page 1, and then we also have page 2. So there are more databases in here. So to make your work easier, what we've resorted to is to also share to generate what we call the quick reference list for e-resources. And this has a number of databases which can be accessed within your faculty. Let me share that, the screen. So under the Faculty of Engineering and Survey, we have a number of databases. This list will be shared with you by our liaison librarians who are in charge of the faculty. We've categorized the databases in this way. We have the ebooks, we have the e-journals. So among the ebooks, we have EBSCOhost database. Then we also have Taylor and Francis. Now for EBSCOhost, you are required to log in your Gmail account in case you'd like to access ebooks, full access to ebooks, because EBSCOhost also covers the journal aspect. You can be able to access the journals, but for this course, we are categorizing it for ebooks. Then Taylor and Francis also has ebooks. Then we have the e-journals like IEEE, and I understand many of you from the faculty have used the IEEE. And then we have INARI, which is the Internet Access to Research Initiative. It also has materials engineering. We also have Taylor and Francis. Taylor and Francis now it has two platforms. It has one for ebooks and e-journals, and then also the one for articles. When you look at the URL address, slightly is a difference between the two. If you are going to access the ebooks, you follow this. If you are going to access the articles, you follow this. Then we have the Gruter's Journal Collection, which also has the materials on engineering and other disciplines. And then we have the on-campus and off-campus access. How do you access them? When you are going to access these resources and you're using your personal data, without any interference, you have to use our MyLoft platform, which is an off-campus. And this one requires you to use a student or staff email address with your staff password as well in that institutional email. So in case you are not yet registered, you let us know, then you can be registered on MyLoft, but you should have a university email. And then they can be accessed on campus, and that is the link which we have basically logged in with. And then we have people who can further give you assistance. We have Patrick, James Patrick is at main campus. Belinda is at main campus. Irene is at main campus. Sarah is at Kampala. Joanita is at main campus, and myself. So any of those people can be in position to assist you in case we finish up the session and you have any challenge of accessing these databases. Then when we go back to the main page where databases are, we are not going to look at all of them, but we are going to look at a sample. Let's navigate EBSCOhost. So EBSCOhost, the moment you go to it, it requests us to log in, so you can sign in with your Gmail. You don't need to create a new email address. Sometimes it will pop you to do so, sometimes it will not. It will pop in when you would like to download books. But sometimes it directly takes you. Oh, okay. Let me use the personal Gmail because the institution, I think. Okay. So the moment I log in, it takes me to a page of this nature, and then you select EBSCOhost web. And from there, it will indicate that you're accessing this through I'm sorry I went off. We have a challenge at main campus. The internet is not stable, so I'm trying to use my personal, and whenever people try to call my phone, then I go off. So I was saying that the moment you reach on this page, there is a general, what we call a general search box, where you can be able to search, and then we can filter by selecting full text or peer reviewed. Usually peer reviewed works for the articles, but for the books, it may not work for you. Then you can also select the dates. If you leave all dates, it will give you whatever information it has, maybe from 1800 or from 1900 to date, but it's better to give a range. You can also give a date range, that is if you need from 1 month to another month, and then the database will filter accordingly. So for example, if I search for mechanical engineering, that's a bit general, meaning that the database might give me too much. Okay. Exactly, that's what has happened. It's giving me 782,000 to 872 results. That's too much. And then when we come to filtering, we can say the moment you click on filtering, you can say full text. If you say full text and then you apply, or before applying, you can even select the source type. If you need the only ebooks, you select ebooks. And we're looking at ebooks now, but it can give you more. The list is quite long. If you need other books, you can select the other 100 books, and then you update the selection. And then after that, you can even go by subject. It will give you a number of subjects. Now, our subject was mechanical engineering. It's quite huge. So we might say renewable energy sources. If we need anything else, the list is long. So you can continue selecting what you want. And then if only that is where my interest was, but now you can see it's giving you 143 different subjects under mechanical engineering. I'll update the list. And then publisher may not be so important unless when you have a specific publisher, publication, journal, or in the publishing house may not be important. So after that, after making the selection, you can see now it's picking ebooks, books, renewable energy, full text, and then it's going now to, we are clicking on apply. So our results might drop from 782,000 to something else. Okay. So it has given us 11 results, and these are books. So on the page, usually it displays 10, but it can display up to 50, but now we have only 11 materials, so we don't need to select that. And then if we need to change the dates, we can be able to change the dates, but you have to be careful for the box. It can't be past 12 months, it has to be in years. So when you look at these books, the first one, Transition to Sustainable Energy Technologies, Pathway Sources and Mobility, it's the latest, 2026. Access options, we can select full text, PDF, and then you can be able to read the book online, or you'll be in position to download the whole book. Now, their condition is sometimes these books, you can be able to download a full PDF. Some you'll be able to download it using a software called Adobe Digital Editions. So now if we need full text, before that, they will give you the different parts, and under parts, that's where you find different chapters. Some don't have parts, you go straight to chapters. So if you're interested in one chapter, you can click on the download drop-down icon, and then you download. If I need a full book, I'll click on full, and then they are giving me options of downloading chapters, but I'll select full, and then I'll click on download. Then some books which now, for example, this book, they are telling me your download will begin shortly. And if it doesn't start, they're telling me to retry. So the book will start downloading. This one has no restriction. So I'll wait and see it has not yet. So I may go back. Try. Okay, it has started downloading the book. So when it finishes downloading it, then we shall have access to it. Then you can share this exact book. We have different icons here. There's an icon next on the right hand side next to download where you can share. So you can create a link and then you copy this link and then you share it with colleagues. So you can be able to share a link. However, you can also be able to share if you needed, for example, a chapter. For example, if I say I needed this chapter, you can be able to download it. But if it's for a book, where it's a full book, the option is up here. Then you can also pick the citation style if you need it. Originally, the books in the EBSCOhost, they are referenced in the APA, and the latest edition is 7th edition. If you need a different edition, you can decide. For example, if I need Harvard, it will change it to Harvard, but by default, it comes with APA 7th edition, and then you just copy to the clipboard and then put it in your reference list. So the book is quite heavy, so it's still downloading. So that is how you can be able to download books under EBSCOhost. So then you can decide by relevancy. For example, relevancy, date newest, date oldest. Now this book is for 2026. The next one is 2017, 2017, 2016, 2016, and then 2015, 2014, meaning that the first book is the newest. That's why it was indicated on the first page, rather as the first book on the page. So that's how you can be able to access ebooks. You can just put in your search and then you're able to get the ebook. Then some books, they may require, for example, let me put in renewable energy. Search for renewable energy. There's something which I want to demonstrate, and it has remained in my commands of ebooks and books. That's why it's giving me 391. Otherwise, if I cancel, then it will give me even articles. I'll be able to access articles. Now, under renewable energy, the latest book I'm seeing is for 2019. But let me select date newest and see whether the database can. Okay. It's bringing back the book which we had searched earlier because of the element of energy. The next book is 2025. Let's see how we can access it. Okay, if we need a full book. Still, I can download it as a PDF. It has not demonstrated what I wanted to display, but we shall do it later because sometimes some of these books, for you to be able to download them, you need to have Adobe Dictate Editions, but these ones are directly PDFs. You can just download it as it is. Okay. Then the next database is the Taylor and Francis. Let's look at the ebooks for Taylor and Francis. When you come here on our list, we've justified for the journals, there is journal articles, and then for books, it is ebooks to separate the two. So when we open Taylor and Francis, for it, you can be able to download both a full book, or you can be, some books you are able to download chapter by chapter. For example, if we search for civil engineering, it is quite general, where the database is going to filter. So it's giving me, because it's for ebooks, now this one is not a mixture like EBSCOhost, it's for only ebooks. You can see we have 15,408 results, and these are basically ebooks. And then I can select on the left-hand side content I have access to. Or you can say open access or licensed content or fully open. OS stands for open access books, or books with open access chapters. Because there are certain books when some chapters you have to pay and then some chapters are free. So it's up to you. Then it has a number of subjects here, depending on your interest. The ebook collection, depending on our search term. You can choose the period of time and then apply. And then the authors are also there who have contributed. So now if we select what we have access to, however much, so it will filter. So out of the 15,000, you can imagine we have access only to 296, but this is still a many. And then we want to look at basically engineering. So we shall select the subject because we don't want to run through the long queue of the books. So there are 97. These ones we have full access to them, and most of them are open access. So if we need to access the first book, we can also check the abstract and then read the abstract whether it makes sense to us. If you need to download a full book, you can open it in another new tab, and then it will display the abstract is there. Now this book, for it, you cannot download it once as it was in EBSCO. You download chapter by chapter, and they indicate for you how many pages are on each chapter. Now chapter 1 has 11 pages. If we need to download it, so I'll just click and download. It's in a PDF, and download that chapter. If you need to download another chapter, you do the same. So until when you finish up downloading the full book. So the book has 19 chapters. So if you need it all, you go on downloading chapter by chapter, then you'll have access to all of them. So it's still downloading. Okay. So that is how you can be able to access books and Taylor and Francis. You can also browse if you need your books or collection is. You can look at the different subjects. It might not basically be engineering, but you want to look at any other subjects. They offer more other subjects, and these are organized alphabetically. And for this, we call it browsing. You can browse all through. So instead of searching as we searched, you can go straight. For example, I can decide to go straight to engineering and technology, and then I'll be able to look at the different subjects within there, which Taylor and Francis provides in ebooks. So it will take me here and then to give me anything on engineering and technology, and then they will break them down with the different subjects here: electrical and electronical engineering, electromagnetic and communication, engineering, management, and so on. So you'll be able to see different aspects here: biomedical engineering, civil, environmental, and geotechnical engineering. So then when you select one, it will display the results here. But remember to select only content you have access to here. So that the database can filter and display only what you can be able to download. So you can see the numbers have dropped. They were heavier there, but you can see what we have access to. So that's how you can also be able to browse. So those are the databases for ebooks. Then from the list which I shared, we have e-journals. Now e-journals, I'll look at IEEE. Okay, IEEE. So it will usually display institution sign in, but you don't need it to. Please don't sign in. We have access. So when you come here, even IEEE, you can decide to browse. Now for it, I want to make this clear. I don't have access to books. We only have access to journal articles. That's what we have access to. And IEEE. So if you want to look at journals, you can decide to browse, and then it will display what it has, displaying all results. And then these are organized in alphabetic order. But if we have a particular search, for example, if we are looking at electrical, which is still general, but you can search based on the quotient or the topic. So they are giving us 1,646,655 results. And some of these are conference papers, journal articles, magazines, standards. The books, I don't want to excite you, you will not have access to them. And then when you come down here, you can select the range. For example, these are running from 1884. And then you can also look at the so I can say I need from 2024 to date, and then I'll apply. And then not to show all results because some of them they are locked. We have no access to them. I'll click on open access only. Now for IEEE, you will not be able to access it outside of campus because the publisher restricted institution is not to use proxy access. That is MyLoft. MyLoft is a proxy access for you to access the materials of campus. So they want to monitor the institution is directly. So for IEEE, we have to bear with the conditions of the publisher. We can only access it when you are on campus. So even colleagues who are not attending, you have to let them know that when they go through MyLoft, they will not be able to access IEEE. They will be blocked because those instructions came from the vendor himself. So we can't do much. So if you need this material, you can read the abstract, you can read it online, or you click on the PDF icon and then you download a PDF for yourself. So you can download as many as you can, depending on your need, so long as they answer your request. I don't know whether it turns. So basically, that's how you can be able to access IEEE. Then we have another database, which I talked about, but Hinari. Then we have the Gruta. I'll not look at Taylor and Francis because the same way you navigate the ebooks is the same way you access this one. I'll look at the Gruta's journals. I'll still go back to our list. And then the Gruta's is on page 2. Yeah. So for it, you have to go to the search. Under the main menu, click on search, and then you type there your need. For example, if I need something on biomedical engineering, I'll search. Now, in case you check a database and you can't get what you want, then you can check through another database. Unless all fails, then you can contact us and we assist you with your need. So the Gruta, because we've typed in biomedical engineering, they will ask us, do we need articles? Do we need chapters? So if I select articles, the database will filter and then it will only display articles. And the latest article it has under this search, so 11th June 2025, I'll just click on PDF download. Those ones which you have no access to, they will not have a PDF download. The ones you have access to, you'll be able to download. On a page, it can be able to display more than 10 results, but by default, it's displaying 10, so you can select 100. And they are giving us 10,000 results, which are articles. So if I click on download and open it in a new tab and see. Okay, so it has downloaded the article. So I'm able to access the article, all of it. Yeah. So the other ones which we tried to download under EBSCOD were books, but the network is a bit unstable, so they've not yet downloaded. But now you can see that this is an article, it's quite light. So it has been able to download it and then you can have it offline. So that is how you can be able to access the journal articles. Taylor Hinari, it's more or less the similar way. Hinari is managed under UN agency, that is the WHO. They are the sponsors, and in the low developed countries like Uganda, we don't pay anything. We access them free of charge. So let me search now for mechanical engineering. I'm using major subject search, but you can always search using the topics which you teach or using the course units or using a specific subject of your need, and then the results will not be too many. Now, the reason why I'm having millions of results because I'm using general subjects. So you can see it's giving us 3,591 plus results on mechanical engineering. Why? I was too general. But you can be able, when you check on the left-hand side of the page, you can be able to filter by result search. You can be able to filter by content type. If you needed the books, you can select only book chapters. Now, Hinari has articles. It also has book chapters and even books. However much we grouped it under articles. Then by discipline, now if you need engineering, they have in 2.7 million materials. Yeah, that is by discipline. Then by subject, there are a number of subjects here. which you can navigate all through. And then for you to be able to download the material under Hinari, it should display PDF. It doesn't have a PDF option. It means you can only be able to access that material online. Now this one, which is a PDF, you can be able to open it in a new tab and see whether it will download. Then there are different icons here on a particular article, whereby you can, if you have EndNote, you can migrate this item into EndNote, and EndNote will create for your reference, or Zotero, or bibliotex, depending on what you are using. Then you can email the item and send it to colleagues. If it is very important and relevant, you can pick the citation from here. So it will display different citations. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing APA. APA is not there, but it has other citations. Now, this one depends on the publish of the article. You can pick a permanent link. There is what we call a permanent link. So this link, you can copy it, the colleagues. It will take them straight away to this particular article. Then you can also save an item. It will be saved within your account. And then when you come the any other day, you can be able to still access the material. So that's how you can be able to navigate Research for Life database, whereby it will give you an option even to share with the colleagues and send them the item, and then they will be able to access it elsewhere. So instead of downloading for them the material, they can always access it themselves. So that's how you can be in position to also access Taylor and Francis materials. Okay, so the article from Hinari, it is here, but it has taken us to another page. As I told you, Hinari, it's an aggregator. Sometimes we call it a database, but it's an aggregator which picks from the real publisher. So this particular article on ChatGPT 3.5 and 4.0 mechanical engineering, it was published under Wiley online library. So it takes us to a page for Wiley, and they're telling us that we have access to the material. That's why the padlock is in red. And then you can be able to download the article itself. You click on PDF and then to download. But it also gives you options of sharing. So you can be in position to share the article with the other colleagues, besides sharing it from Kinari database. Okay. So basically, that's how we can be in position to access our online materials as the staff and the students of the university. So at this moment, I want to give ourselves a break of 5 minutes. Then we shall switch to another module with reference to our schedule for today. Thank you. So you don't need to leave, but you can tell other colleagues who have not yet joined to please join. We're just having a break of 5 minutes, then we can continue. Thank you. All right, members, we can resume. So now, according to our schedule, we are now going to look at index citation and referencing. So we are going to look at basically Mendeley. Okay. So Mendeley, we are saying changing the way we do research. Introduction to Mendeley. So Mendeley is a reference manager used to generate citations and bibliographies in Microsoft Word. So it's an academic social network that helps researchers to organize their research, share and discover papers, and collaborate with others. So Mendeley is used approximately by over 6 million researchers around the globe who are utilizing it for their research. It is also used for annotating your PDF files and organizing your reference library. This reference library is organized by you, not by it's not generated by Mendeley, but it's you who generates it using the Mendeley software. So it's a free software which is available across a number of different platforms. The only limitation that doesn't have an app, you can only be able to access it using a computer or a laptop. So it can be accessed on desktop, on the web, on the iOS, on Android, and other platforms. How we can actually use it. So let's talk about how the product works, what it looks like, and how you might like to use it. The first thing you need to do is to create an account via mendeley.com. So we are going to go there and then I'll demonstrate how you can be able to create an account because it requires you to have an online account. So the moment you go to the page of mendeley.com to create an account, you request for your first name, your last name, your email, and then the password, and then you'll be in position to get started. So this is completely free to do and only takes a few seconds. So you will need a Mendeley account to log into different versions of the software. And once you've created an account, you'll be prompted to download the appropriate version of Mendeley Desktop for your current laptop or desktop you are using. So because the moment you create an account, you need Mendeley Desktop, which can be used even offline. Because when you are online, you are restricted to online services, but you can still use it when you are offline, so long as you have an account. So it offers a complete Mendeley experience. It allows you to build, maintain, and order your personal library. This is your personal library, which you create yourself. So it also allows you to access reading and writing functions on the same platform. So when you first open Mendeley Desktop, you need to log into your account. So the account you created online, the details, the credentials you used online, those are the same credentials you'll be required to use on Mendeley Desktop. If there happens any difference between the two, then you will not be successful to log in on your Mendeley Desktop. So this ensures that any changes you make are being made to your own account and will be carried across when you log in even on different devices. For example, if I'm using Mendeley at home on my laptop, and when I come to office and log in, still Mendeley desktop, it will mirror exactly what I've been doing on the laptop, so long as the credentials are the same. So let's talk about how Mendeley can help you to bring organization to your references. So usually this is the setup of the library and how you can be able to add in documents. One, you can be able to import documents using these other referencing styles. Or you can be able to, rather tools, not styles, these are tools, reference tools. Or you can be able to add files. That is if you downloaded them and on your computer. You can be able to add folders. You can be able to add entry manually. Entry manually, those are usually the materials which are not in soft form. For example, it's a textbook, it's a journal article which is in print. You can still be able to upload it there. So this is just an example of a material which has been entered in Mendeley, and then the person being positioned to save it. Then we have what we call the Mendeley Web Importer. So the web importer usually works when your internet is very stable, and I would encourage you to utilize it when you have a stable internet. But if you don't, then you have to use a long way of downloading and then uploading materials into the Mendeley desktop. But usually the web importer, it imports directly from the online platform, for example, from the databases we've just accessed, into your Mendeley desktop and your Mendeley online account. That is the web importer. It is which we can be able to use an extension still using our computers or laptops. So it usually uses PDFs, so it reads PDF, so you're not being positioned to upload their Excel or word processed files. Of course, it can upload them, but when it comes to figuring out the in-text citation and the references, it might be a challenge. So it's advisable that all the downloads should be PDF files. And from the databases we've just looked at, you've noticed that most of the materials there which we were able to download were in PDF format. So your results may be in black and white, but your research doesn't to be. So Mendeley now features the ability to annotate your work into different colors. So how many colors? Usually sometimes there are 8 different colors. So you can be able to create a rainbow. When you talk about rainbow, those are a number of colors where your documents, you can be able to put their sticky notes. You can be able to color them differently depending on your interest and your need, because you need to differentiate. For example, if we are writing an article, we may have the background, we have the introduction, we have the literature review, we have the methodology, we have recommendations, key findings. So if we've used the different articles for that particular article to develop it, or that concept paper, then we may need to use the rainbow annotation and then color these articles differently so that we are able to differentiate them. But this is done within your personal account. Okay. Citing. So let's look at using Mendeley citation plugin. So there is a general in-text citation in Word whereby it can merge citations, it can insert the bibliography. Bibliography, that is the reference list. You can be able to find a citation style. It has a number of citation styles. However much it is limited, but there are a number of different citation styles. But you can also import other citation styles within your Mendeley desktop, so long as you are online. Usually when you are importing, you should be online. But when you are using it for your article development, You don't need to be online with Mendeley desktop, but it can do all that. Generate in-text citations, merge citations, insert bibliographies, and also find different citation styles. So briefly, that is the presentation, but now I want to switch to the practical part of it, because after going through this, then the biggest part or attention should be put on how you can be able to apply it. As I said earlier, that unfortunately, you cannot find an app. It doesn't have an app. It has a software which you can use on a computer and a laptop. So these are activity questions. Have you heard about this referencing manager before? If yes, how often do you use this software? How do you see it necessary to recommend this reference manager? How would you describe your experience? So these are questions which we usually ask for people who are doing it as recap sessions, but even for us who are accessing it for the first time, they trigger you to understand exactly how this tool operates. So now we are going to switch to the online. So as I said earlier, you go to your browser and type in mendeley.com. So the moment you reach here, if you don't have an account, you have to create an account. But you can see it triggers you to download. But before you download, let's go to, you click on sign in. Unfortunately, I have an account already. Let me do this. Okay. Get Mendeley free. No, this one takes us to download. We have to come to sign in. And then try another account. Now, for those who have never used it, it will take you to a page where there's no email, and then you insert in your email. Now, my email is already there, so it will pop me that you already have an account. Then you click on continue. So because I already have an account, it takes me here. But if you don't have an account, what usually happens, it will take you to a page where you have to insert in your names after your email, and then after the names, you're inserting your password, then confirm the password, and then you'll sign in. So that will be your online account. Now, already I have an account. So the task I have is to log in. Hey, is it failed? Oh. So usually for first timers, the moment you log in, it will take you to a page of this nature to take you to my library. Now, if your library has nothing, now mine is populated, it has a number of items here, but usually it will give you a page which is empty without any item. And these are items which I uploaded, not using the computer I'm using currently, but I was on a different computer. And then they are uploaded up here. So this is my online account. But to take you back, let me do this here. It tells you that download menu. So you can be able to, it gives you two options, rather three options. There is mainly for Windows, there is MacBook, and then there is Linux. So it depends on the computer you are using. But even if you go, if for example, if we click here, it will download the Mendy Reference Manager. And then the Reference Manager works basically when you have internet. Even if you download it and install it, it will require to have internet. However, we have what we call Mendeley Desktop. When you go to your browser, Mendeley Desktop, and then select installer. And currently we are at 19.8, however much it is showing 0.3. So it will switch to 0.8 and then you download. You click on this Windows if you're using Windows. And then it is very light. You download it. You download a setup. It's just 54 MBs. And then you after following the procedure of downloading it and installing it, it will give you a page of this nature. And then you will be required to type in your email, the exact email which we used online. There shouldn't be any spaces because even online you never included spaces. And then you come and type in your password. If you're using your own computer, you can click on stay logged in. And then you sign in. If there is any difference, then it will not log you in so long as the credential don't match with the online credentials. There's something which I want to try out. Let me first close this. Let me sign out. Okay. Okay. Before we continue, I'll pose a question. I would like to hear from members, especially those from the engineering faculty. Is there anyone who has been able to reach where I am? To start with, the creating an account online. Any volunteer to answer? Anyone who has been able to create an account, or we are following using our phones? I'd like to hear from Frank, Elijah, James. Hello? Okay, somebody has posted. Oh, James is saying you already has an account. Okay, thank you so much. Meaning now this is a recap to your end. Can I hear from Elijah? And I'm seeing Dr. Naomi. Do you have an account already? Okay. So I'm going to switch to, because I've noticed the computer I'm using, it will not be able to demonstrate to me the word processed file practically. So shortly I'm going to switch to a laptop so that you can be able to view my screen as we populate materials within Mendeley. So just a few minutes. Let me switch to another gadget. So as it connects, right now when I talked about using the web importer, okay. Okay, thank you, Elijah, for the feedback. You're working on it. So I talked about a web importer because what I want to demonstrate using a laptop is on the desktop. But let's look at the web importer. So Mendeley has a web importer which imports materials from the databases to your account. Oh, what's this? So we can go to our browser and type in Mendeley web importer. Now, usually it will give you some hints. For example, it usually makes the importers to get attached to your browser. If I'm using Firefox, it will prompt Firefox. If I'm using Chrome, it will prompt Chrome. If I'm using a Microsoft Edge, it will prompt Edge. So for me, I'm using Chrome. So I'll click on Web Importer for Chrome, and then I'll just go straight and look for the importer which is for Chrome, open it in a new tab. Just a moment. Okay. And then the moment you come to this page, it has a button which says Add to Chrome. I'll click on Add. And then it gives me another smaller page which says Add Manual Web Importer. I'll click on Add Extension. So it has been added, but when it's added, on the extreme corner of the page where we have the extension icon, I'll click on that extension icon, and then I'll pin the web importer. I'll click on pin. If I don't want to pin, the other option is remove from Chrome, manage extension, view web permissions. So for me, my target now is to pin it. So I'll pin it, and after pinning it, it is already there. So now, after pinning it here, how does it work? So we have our e-resources databases. Unfortunately, I had closed menu, but let me go to EBSCO. I want to test it. I'll test EBSCO. I'll also test Emerald. rather Taylor and Francis. And where's okay. Okay, so I'll go here and search for anything. For example, I can say land survey. I'm not so sure whether it has something on land survey. Giving me 21,000. I want to select content I have full access to. So they've given me 592 books and 5,880 chapters. So how do I connect this into my Mendeley account? I'll click on the Mendeley Web Importer, which will require me to have logged in my Mendeley account. So it's now looking at signing into Mendeley Web Importer. It has to connect with my Mendeley online account. That's why I said that this basically works when you are online and your internet has to be strong enough. So now it has detected 11 references. Some it's not giving me PDFs, but I would like to get ones which have PDFs because I'll be able to read them through my is it not giving me PDFs? Oh, these no. Let me use another database. Let me try EBSCO. Oh, this one is going to me. Let me go to EBSCO. I don't know why Taylor is giving me. Oh, I can try Taylor articles because for the ebooks it's restricting. Let me try articles of Taylor and Francis. Then I was searching for land survey. Use the same search. Okay. 798,000 results. Okay. I'll trigger the web importer. So this one is detecting 10 results, but I would like to get PDFs. Okay, let me also filter here. Show content I have full access to. Then I'll refresh here. Okay, so you can see after refreshing and even after selecting on your content I have full access to, so it has picked 10 results. Now in my library, I'll come here. I have different collections. Let me select writing club, article writing club. Let me select that. And then I'll click on add. And then I can be in position to, okay, I can be in position to select all of them because most of them are, I will not select all of them because I have a web page. I will select one by one, add them there. Oops, sorry. Add, add this one. Okay, and then I'll click on add. They're all going to go into my folder called Article Writing Club. Then I'll add. Now, when it gives this message, it means sometimes the failure is on the internet strength. So it was unable to upload the PDFs, but it uploaded only the bibliographic information of the article. And all that information has gone into my online account. So when I go to my online account, oh, it's here, and then I'll come down here, click on Article Writing Club, refresh. It was empty. I would like to see what is there. So you can see the materials we've added at 11:49. They are all here. However, what it has uploaded, these are, it has not uploaded the files itself, but it uploaded the bibliographic information. And then the same will be reflected on my mainly desktop. And that's what I wanted to, that's why I wanted to switch to a different gadget, display this. Then I can be able to create another collection. For example, I can say engineering. Engineering staff training. That's a collection. So okay. And then when I go to Taylor and Francis, this time around, let me use EBSCO. So you can even do this, you can even do web importing from Google Scholar. I hope you are aware of Google Scholar. If you go to Google Scholar, you can still do the same. It's not restricted to our databases, but why am I doing all this? You can still use Google Scholar. Still, it will look at my account, log into my account. It could be the network, that's why it's taking long. So if you remember in the presentation, I said earlier that when your network is not stable enough, then it might take long for it to connect, whereby it will force you to go into downloading materials, and then you upload them manually. So now here, I'll select a different collection which we created, and that was engineering staff training. Okay, I'll remove this. And then I'll select the articles which are having PDFs only. Why? Because I would like to access them after. So there are very few. The rest, I'm unable to get them as PDFs. Okay. And then I'll add. When you come to my collection here, you can see currently it is empty, there is nothing. And here it is still loading, trying to add. Oh, it's failing also. It could be the network still. It's failing to upload the PDFs. So I'll go to my account and see and refresh and find out. So when you go to my account, you can see, okay, it's indicating the files available for download. It has been able to pick some, but not all of them. So it was empty, but now I've uploaded them here. So these are the articles which are being positioned to use. Okay. So that's how the web importer works. If you need to use it, but it will require stable internet for you to apply it. So now I'm going to do a demo on how you can be able to use the desktop. That is, after uploading these articles via your online account, they'll straight away go into your mainly desktop account. See here. Oh. Sorry about the delays. My network is a bit unstable. Trying to connect another gadget to demonstrate.
Okay. So now So I'm sharing. I'm sharing a page which has the Mendeley desktop account, which we've been populating online the other side. So when you look at this collection of engineering staff training, that's what we basically created online. Check my account here. Okay, let me go to engineering staff training. Fresh. So exactly what we have online is what is being displayed. Still taking game to load. Okay, so whatever is being displayed online here is what is being displayed on Mendeley desktop because they are the same. They are the same credentials. So, Dr. Naomi, your hand was up.
Yes, good morning.
Morning to you.
He was challenged by this one. I knew the other one, but I am not understanding this one yet. I got this one on my laptop, but I failed to reference using this where we are so far. I knew I knew this one.
You knew Mendeley
So what is
desktop,
the
but you
difference
were
between this and the other one?
okay. They are both the same. They communicate the same, only that for your work to be kept in the cloud, not to lose it. For example, what Mendeley desktop, if we don't, there's what we call synchronization. Up here on the menu toolbar up here, we have the word synchronize your library with Mendeley Web. If we don't synchronize whatever we've uploaded using the Mendeley desktop, it means if our machine gets a problem and our work gets lost, it will get lost completely. But the moment you synchronize it, you'll be able to still to access it the other side online. The online account basically helps you to keep your references longer. That even if the machine or you give it someone else or it stops working, still it will not hinder your process of research. Basically, that is the difference between the two.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So now what we've uploaded the other side, the documents which we are able to download PDFs, they are here. Why PDF? Because I would like to read them. So when I double click, should be able to open. Oh. So on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side of the page, it gives you the biographic information, the authors, the journal, the year. But there's also an option of changing if it has picked this information wrongly. You can see the cursor is active. You can be able to change. For example, it might indicate 1996, yet actually the article is for 2006. The abstract, you may not need to change the abstract. Then it has the digital object identifier, which is the key identifier of any online material, whether article or book. So now if I need to read this online, rather in here as a PDF, I'm wondering, okay, it has opened. So you can see when I check here, it's indicating Elsevier, yet actually the journal is Journal of Environmental Management. So I can be able to change here and type here Journal of Environmental Management. And then it will save automatically. Okay? And then it is for 1996, issue volume 47, issue 1, pages 37 to 60, which is okay. When you come to the authors, yes, it has picked them as they are, which is okay. So then I can also be able, within here, I can be able to highlight text or highlight text in a rectangular way. You can change the colors. Do I need to use yellow? Do I need to use green? Depending, but by default it is displays yellow. Then if you have a sight problem, you can still zoom. You can zoom up to where you want. And then you can also decide to have a full screen. Now, when I synchronize here, it saves it the other side online. It will even save it here. Now, synchronization works when you are online. Then, for example, if I would like to highlight, I'll click on highlight text, put the cursor here, then highlight. Oh, is it not working? Reason? Okay, can start it. Okay, yeah. So after that, after highlighting that text, however much it's in the abstract, I'll click on synchronize. So it will be saved like that. There is not a word save there, it's not there, but you just click on synchronize. So it has saved it. So even if I close this article and open it another day, you can see still it will be there. Okay. So then if I need to read another article, it will be the same. So this one is indicators of sustainable land management based on farmer surveys in Vietnam, Indonesia, and Thailand. So if I look at this, they are also indicating elsewhere. So it has not picked everything. So I'll come here and say it's a Journal of Agriculture and Ecosystems and Environment. The moment you see it on the first page, okay. It was published in 2000, which is okay. Volume 81, which is okay. Issue 2 pages. All the rest are okay. Then I'll just synchronize. If I need to pick a particular paragraph still to highlight, I'll do the same. So then after that, let's open a Word document. Or before we open a Word, let me open a Word document here. So when we are referencing using Mendeley, we go to our Word document and click on references. But when you are installing it for a first time, by default, it will not be there. So let me click here. References. You can see the Mendeley icon is there under insert citation. Insert bibliography, open Mendeley, and it's serving APA citation style. But when I go to my browser here, rather the Mendy desktop, under tools, I can uninstall. But uninstalling works only if we close all these Word files. Let me first close them. Close these files, all of them. Close. Okay, then I can come here and uninstall. So when I uninstall, it means that I'm not able to have the the Word plugins under Mendeley. So when I come, I open up a Word file still, you'll appreciate that Mendeley will not be there because I've decided to uninstall it. The web importer, that one we've already done it online. You've seen that how it works. And now install MS Word plugin because we've removed it. We've uninstalled it. So let's open a Word file here. Okay, so when we go to references, you can see it's not there. But now we can go back to Mendy desktop and install. However, it can't be running. So we have to close Word. So that's what happens. So it has now been installed, and we shall click OK. Then we shall go back and open a Word file. So we are looking at the last part about use Mendeley. So I'll open a Word file. So you can see now it's there, insert citation. So I'll open, for example, I'll type anything. I assume that that is my article which I'm working on. Okay. So how do I use the Mendeley to do the in-text citation? I'll put the cursor where I would like my citation to be and click on insert. The moment you click on insert, if you know a particular author, you just type there and then specificate of the surname of the author and it will take you straight away. But there are scenarios when you are not so sure, you click on go to Mendeley. It will take you to your Mendeley desktop. Then you pick a citation. If there are more than one, you press the control button on your keyboard and then select more references. So after selecting them, you go into the top menu where we have the word cite and you click on that icon under cite. And remember our citation style, we're using APA. So it's going to insert the citation using the APA style. So it is there. Now for the second paragraph, if I would like to change the style, I'll go to view, go to styles, and come here and select a different style. For example, I can select Oscola. or Scholar is Oxford University Standard for Citation for Legal Authorities. Usually this is what the law students use. Engineering, some publications, most of them are using Harvard, some are using IEEE. So if I would like to change, I change from here. So I can come here and say I'm going to use IEEE. So the moment I select it, when I go back to my Word document here, still select IEEE. But the moment you select IEEE, you can see even the first article, IEEE references by numbers. So these are just numbers. So the moment I come here and say, no, I will not understand this, go back to APA. So it will bring back the authors. So that's how it keeps on changing. So now here, because we changed, I don't want to have that confusion. I'll stay with my APA. And then I'll go back to the article, put the cursor where I would like my citation to be, click insert. Now, cancel. For example, there is this article by Lifro, RoadDB. I may have not used the full article, but used the particular pages. How do you do it? I'll go to here, click on insert, type in Lifro. So you can see rephrase there. And then after that, I'll click within referral 2000 and then include the pages. For example, I read from page 80 to 90. Okay. And then I'll click OK. The moment I click OK, you can see how it has done the citation, including the pages. I'll go to another paragraph. Do the same. So if the author is Bones, and Bones is here, 1996, I'll click in Bones and say I use the page 3 to page 7. Then I'll not click OK if I have another citation. I'll go up here again and select maybe referral. Okay, select referral. And for referral this time round, I used page 72 to 79. So if those are the two citations, then I'll click OK. So you can see what it has done, the difference. Then when it comes to the reference list, it will generate it automatically. And then I'll put the cursor where I would like my citation, my references to be, and click on Insert Bibliography. Now that you click on it once for a particular file, because the moment you keep on clicking on it whenever you update, it will generate reference lists which are similar, because the moment you click on insert bibliography, it will automatically keep on updating the reference list. So the moment I click on insert bibliography, it will organize it like that alphabetically. Let's add in another one and then we see, then we end there. Click on insert. I'll add on this one, any mark, and click on this. So you can see what it has indicated. And then its ND means no date. Now, when it indicates no date, I'll have to go to the article, open it. The good thing, it has a PDF. Are you sure? So it means here I had to edit. It's for 2006. And then the journal, it's under it have a journal name? It has, okay, let me put understanding the land management. Faraday. Okay. Leave it like that. So actually it has details here, how it can be cited. The details are here. Okay, and then I'll go back to my article here. Try to remove it. So even here, I'll remove it. Okay. And then I'll go back to cite again. The author, I'll still look at the author here. Why is it having 7? I'll remove this 7. Leave it at this remark. Okay, so it is EMAC S, so it has corrected it. So I'll go back here to citation, insert citation, go here, select it, and then you can see it has already added the bibliography. NMARC is added there into my reference list, but also within the in-text citation is added there. So that's how you can be able to make the in-text citation and then generate a reference using Mendeley. So unless there is any question now, but if there is no question, shall have another short break of 5 minutes and then we'll look at the last part. Call it the end of the session. Thank you. Okay, members, let us resume on our last part, and that is the drill bit, the plagiarism tool, which we use as a university. Unfortunately, this tool is expiring on 25th of March, that is next month, and it has not been utilized as it should. But that one doesn't stop us from going through it. I know some of you have heard about it, some of you have used it, and those who have not used it, this is the opportunity for you to learn that we have a plagiarism tool which is used by the university. It detects the AI similarity, it detects the plagiarism similarity, and then the grammar report in percentages. So if you need to access Drillbit, it is drillbitplagiarism.com. And for lecturers who are attending, if you don't have an account, after the session, you can let us know and then we'll create for you an account to be able to access it. So the moment you click on drillbitplagiarism.com, then you go to Get Started. And under Get Started, always select institutional login, because when we are creating you an account, we use the Ndeje email. So for part-timers, let them know who don't have emails, they should get in touch with the Digits and their admins at faculty to ensure that they are able to have accounts so that they don't miss out with this service, which is offered by the university. So you select institutional login. So I'll first show you the, okay, let me start with the administrative account. Show you how bad it has been utilized, so that when we go to the other side, you can appreciate that really we are all obliged to utilize the platform. So when you come here, select instructor. Okay, so this is the administrative account. You can see how bad we've not utilized it. Instructors, those are the lecturers. Out of the 300 licenses, we only have 26. And then out of the 400 licenses for students, we only have 4. Now, the students, they are to blame, but the blame starts with the lecturer, because the lecturer are ones who create accounts for the students. So far in a full year, because the university subscribed this last year in March, and until now, as we are making a full year, only 215 items have been tested in this system. And then you can see it will give you the percentages per faculty or department, and then it will give you even the nature of the projects. Some are dissertations, some are articles, assignment, thesis, research papers, and then others. So others is taking the highest percentage, the 102. Now when you go to projects, they are 42. When you go to articles, they are 22. When you go to dissertations, they are 21. But have we graduated only 21 students for March last year and October last year? So you can see how bad it is. Then assignments, we have master students, their assignments, all of them have to go through this. You can't tell that out of all the programs the university runs at master's level or postgraduate diploma, we only have 19 assignments. When you go to thesis, there are only 6, and I think these are for the PhD students, and then only 1 research paper. So those are the document types and the percentages and how much has been. So computing department, it has 156 materials, which it has utilized. Libraries 28, others they are 10. Then Faculty of Environment and Agricultural Sciences has 7, IT, and then others. QA has 4, Mechanical Engineering has 2, Business has 1. So that's how we've not been able to utilize it. So when you don't have an account, you can let us know, then we can create for you an account. But all this money has been a waste. I pray that the coming year, when the university subscribes to such a service, it is not underutilized, but it's well utilized. So now let's go to, let me log in my, let me log out and log in my account. That was an admin account. Okay. So how does it work? So usually even students can be able to create their personal accounts, and then they are able to check on their work before they submit it to the lecturer. Now, when you open up your account as an instructor, you'll have to, at this stage, you'll have to create a class. You go ahead, there's a plus sign, you create a class. For example, I can say civil engineering. And then I can put a description here for, and then the expiry. The expiry when this class is ending. It can be a course unit. Maybe we are teaching it until 24th April, and then I'll create a class. Now, the moment you create a class, you click on it, you click on a class, and then you create what we call accounts. Or you can first add in students. As a lecturer, you can be able to add in students. You can add one student. You can add multiple students. There are instructions. You have to download an Excel sheet here or a template, and then you are able to upload students. Then assignment. If I've given them an assignment, I'll come here. For example, I can call it project 1. Remember, my class is ending on 24th April. So I may be interested, this assignment will be submitted next week on Friday, which will be 27th. Oh, no. Okay, so this is a start date. Today, they can start submitting today. And then by 27th, everyone should have submitted. Okay. Then I can allow assignment settings. You can allow the system to grade. If you say yes, it will grade. And then how many marks would you like it to? What is the maximum mark? For example, if the assignment is out of 40, I'll say 40. So it will grade out of 40. Do you want to exclude references? No, because I need to check whether the students cited. Exclude quotes? No. Exclude small sources? I might say yes. And how many words? Because when it comes to sources, you have to indicate save to repository. Now, the moment you save it, if your lecturer who gives the same assignment this semester, next semester, the same assignment, same question, the moment you save, it means that the new students, when they submit their work will be reflected, and it will indicate plagiarized 100%, because remember, students are going to pick the same work from the previous group. So when you want to leave it in the repository, you have to select institutional. If you select global, then it will go into the global account, and then it will be now putting us in trouble to write to the vendor to delete all this work. And now when you select institutional, it means that for us who are managing the admin account of the university, we can be able to delete, but under your command, under your instruction. If you don't instruct us, we don't do so. Or if you don't want the work to be there and you want to see whether students are coming up with new innovations, then there is no need to save in the repository. Allow resubmission. Now you should understand your class. If it's not a stubborn class and they will respect submission, you can say they can resubmit 3 times or 2 times, depending on the need. For example, if it was a project. Then view of similarity and report. If students want them to view, then you can say yes. If you don't want them to view, you leave it at no. Then compare against. It will compare students' work from other papers globally. It will compare with journals and publishers. If a student just copied and pasted from a journal article, you'll get to know. Internet web, if the work was picked from the internet. Institution repository, if it was picked from the institution repository. These are the setups. But if you're not interested in the setups, you can leave everything as it is and then you submit. So now students will come here and then they will be able to submit their assignments. The moment they click on projects, it will take them into their account and then they will be able to upload the work. If the work is non-English, you specify. For example, if you have students from Southern Sudan who speak Arabic, or from Rwanda who are French and Congo, if it is in English, you select English, and then you come here to browse, and then you upload. Okay. Check on the documents, downloads, upload something here.
So the document has to be in Word.
It can be both. It can be in Word, it can be a PDF.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yes. So let me get one document. So then I'll be able to put the names, not put the names of the author, and then title, and then the document type. So the other side where I showed you the statistics, it gets them via here, whatever you select here. So this is a dissertation. I'll select dissertation. I can put the guide email or I may leave it. The guide email, that is the email for the student, but the name, the author's name, the title, and the document type are key, and then I'll submit. So after submitting, then it's going to give me the grammar report, the AI report, and the similarity report. So currently it is trying to run the item which I've uploaded, and it will give me those 3 reports. So when you get the 3 reports, so it's upon you as a supervisor to judge the student whether what the student has done does not comply with our standards and the integrity of the university. And for example, the similarity. If at international level, currently we are coming up with a policy which we don't have the plagiarism policy currently, but some other universities have come up with the policy. But when you look at the international standards, usually undergraduates, the similarity shouldn't be above 30. For masters, it shouldn't be above 20. For PhD, it shouldn't be above 10%. But also, to all the groups, their works, the similarity shouldn't be below 6%. So now, if the student has scored, for example, 70% is an undergraduate, then it raises questions whether this student did this work by himself or somebody else did it. If he's an undergrad, it's a master's student and it's about 40 and the acceptable percentage is 20, still you have question marks. A PhD student, the same story. So now here, when you look at this paper which we've uploaded, so far we've got the similarity. It's giving us 17%. If he's an undergraduate or a master's student, is okay. If he's a PhD student, then he needs to do something and make sure that either paraphrases to ensure that we get well, he makes sure that his work is below 10%. So as it loads, then we can also look for the
exempt income, and then from that what is the percentage of AI? Deduct the deductions.
Now, the AI percentage at international level, we don't have a policy. Most of the organizations, what they have, their guidelines, but they've not yet dedicated themselves to a particular percentage. That one is still hard to tell because even as NDU, we are coming up with a policy on AI, but what I'm not so sure whether what we drafted has a specific percentage which is allowed or not. But now, after downloading, this is the AI percentage for this particular material. And you can see AI is 57% of the work. And it has highlighted, meaning that the author has to go back and look through all these paragraphs. So 57 means that 43% is his work, and the 57 is AI generated. So you can download the report. And then if we need the similarity, still we do the same. Similarity report. For the similarity report, it will indicate the different percentages. It's loading. Okay. And for it will give you different colors. Green stands for satisfactory, meaning if the percentage is between 0 to 10%, that is satisfactory. Blue, upgrade, that is 11 to 40%. Orange is poor, that is 41 to 60%. And then 61 to 100%, that is unacceptable. So it will go on showing you the different percentages of the work and the different areas where the work was where the work is similar to other publications elsewhere. And then when you look at the right-hand side here, it gives you different percentages. Now they are telling us that 4% comes from Institution Repository Library of Kenya, Kenyatta University. KU, that is Kenyatta University. So the moment you click on Kenyatta, it will give you the info. It will show you that most of the information here, the author picked it from Kenyatta University and from somebody's either dissertation or article published, because this work is coming from the IR, that is the institution repository. So then there is some work coming from Site Sussex. So the moment we click on it, it will even still show you the work, and that is carrying 3%. and the rest occurring 1. Then you can exclude sources. So there are no sources which are excluded because remember in our setup, we did not select what to exclude because these are students. We want to see everything. Because if we had excluded, then it would not highlight some of the text which we've excluded. Like now the references were not excluded, you can see them, they are highlighted. Ideally, these references, it means the author used them, but they are also used elsewhere. So we had to exclude them, but because we didn't do that, that's why they are also here, and they add on this 17%. So if you would like to download, you click on download, and then you can download it as a PDF. And if you just need a summary report, it will still give you a summary. A summary will be 1 page indicating those percentages. Okay. Then lastly, you'll be able to get the Grammarly. It's still loading. Usually Grammarly takes long because it looks at word per word, punctuation per punctuation, and then from my experience, most of the work which has been uploaded here, the Grammarly is too high. You find it at 80, at 90, meaning that we still have a problem in literacy writing. So people don't know how to write in English. So if that one is going to be considered also, we don't have a policy on it. It's in the hands of the supervisor and the supervisee. So especially if the work is going to be published online, then the supervisee should go back and correct the grammar or get an English editor. In these percentages are too high, but the grammar has no policy at hand. AI, as I said, most institutions at international level, they've come up with guidelines, but they are not committing themselves to a particular percentage. So only the similarity report, which has committed the percentages around the globe. So thank you so much for listening. This marks the end of our session. And if you have any questions among what we've looked at, the 3 areas, feel free to ask. And then we can conclude. Thank you. Okay, if there is any question, thank you so much for your time and those who logged in early. Thank you so much. We shall have another session on Thursday, and that will be check to be faculty. Shall be having a different faculty, but still, even if you, in case some people missed this, they are welcome to attend a similar session on Thursday, starting at 9 a.m.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.